All right, all right, all right. Let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. My name is Phil, DJ, right click Valentine, DJ, because of my excellent taste in music, right click, because that was my Appalachian Trail through hiking name, and Valentine, because that was given to me as a family, an English family surname. I actually saw a gravestone in Eccles, England, dated 1369, Valentine. That's how far back my dad was able to trace my lineage. So that's where I come from. You're here doing coaching for coaches with me. I like to model these more of a discussion that we have embraced in the Advanced Academy for Recovery Coaches. I know Ruth was just recent graduate of the last class. Khaleesi's taken it. Anybody else? Michael's taken it. Brian's taken it. But the Advanced Academy, where we have some pretty cool discussions. And I believe that, you teach best what you most need to learn. That's from my good old dear friend, Art Woodard, always said that. And I'm in this place right now in my life. So just a little narrative that, and I think I talked about this last time too, a little bit, is I had surgery in December to take a part of my two parts of my small intestine out. They found cancer, and going through the second round with cancer, lymphoma. And tomorrow I have a bone marrow biopsy, and a port installation, and chemotherapy could start as early as Friday, right? So right before here, I took a walk down our hallway and went to the feeling wheel. And I've been trying to think of how many feelings and emotions I was going through. And I landed on insignificant was the one that jumped out at me, and weak. And it was all under like sad or fear. It was all under fear. I said, that's interesting, because I don't usually consider myself fearful, but maybe I am. So I'm still in the middle of processing that. But what really struck me and what I wanted to talk about was maybe the insignificant is leading into a little depression, is leading into whatever. I'm not usually depressed. I usually have a lot of energy. I'm usually like this, so, and right now I feel okay. But what I have been struggling with, and I'm curious to this, is what do you do to have fun? And to me, there's become a difference between having fun and enjoyment. And for the example, for me is I've really picked up my drawing, right? I thoroughly enjoy drawing. I enjoy pen on paper. It soothes me. It takes me out of my mind. It's emotional. It's just very soothing. And I enjoy it. I find peace. But would I say that's fun? I don't know. That's what I'm wrestling with a little bit. Fun, I think of like laughter, excitement, giggling, if you will, high anticipation. This is wild, outside of my comfort zone, something fun. What is fun? I used to think Golf Clash was fun, but lately when I miss a shot, I find my fist banging on the table like, God damn it, I missed that shot. I didn't hit it perfect. And I said, Phil, is this fun? Khalees has even experienced me doing that when I'm playing Golf Clash a little bit. So if I'm turning purple with rage, how fun is that? So I'm like, gotta ask myself these questions. This is from a guy with 36 years of recovery. I'm not well. I still have many issues that I still try to work through. But one of them is, am I enjoying Golf Clash even? Is that fun anymore? Why am I still doing it? Do I give it up? So all that being the introduction is, I'd like some of you to introduce yourself, where you're from, what do you do for fun, or something you've had fun at lately, just to give me an idea? Who would like to go?
I guess I'll go, Phil. Oh.
Yeah, good. Go ahead, Aaron.
My name's Aaron. I'm from Manchester.
Manchester, where?
Manchester, England.
Hey, we're from Manchester, Connecticut. So, do you support
it? Global, yeah.
Do you support a team?
Yeah, but we don't talk about that at the moment because it's not going very well. So,
not United. United.
Yeah, on that topic, that is not fun, Phil. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I'm a United supporter as well, so I can relate. Cool, Aaron. Yeah.
And in terms of doing something fun, I reconnected with playing computer games because that's something I did when I was a kid. And computer games these days are very complicated and very fast paced. So I play Game Boy games because they're nice and slow and gentle, and that to me is fun.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if it's fun when you give up 2 goals to Newport, right? So anyway, but and you talk about you did computer games when you were young. When we were young, I think the closest thing we had to a computer was an abacus. Anyway, that's how old I am. Hi, Joy. How are you? What do you do for fun?
Hey, so I'm Joy. I work for a recovery community organization over in New Hampshire, about 40 minutes north of Manchester, New Hampshire.
Yeah, there you go.
Fun for me is road trips. I actually have one coming up, Las Vegas to New Hampshire. So that's what I do for fun.
Thank you. That's wonderful. Khalees.
Wait, I need to say my name? I'm Khalees. I live in England. I'm from Texas. That's why I say y'all. I like what you said really there about fun and like exciting and things. So like I do a lot of things with my son, and I think they're really fun because he makes me laugh, and he's just a child. And I was thinking the most recent thing we did was we have date nights every Saturday, and we've made pretzels, like homemade pretzels, and it was so stressful and exciting and nerve-wracking, and there were so many different steps that went into it. You had to do all these things correctly, but they turned out amazing. And it was like trying to cook together, juggle all these different things. But yeah, it was fun.
I like that. I think too, there's an aspect of fun to me that's associated with childhood. So I'm glad you brought that up. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody. My name is Jeff Walker. I am from Wilkes County, North Carolina. So I say y'all too. I find myself, I've been doing CrossFit for the past 8 months. And I enjoy that for my mental wellness and my physical wellness, but I find healing in music. And so going to music shows and music festivals and things like that, which is kind of healing, and I have a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you. Baja, always good to see you, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Me too. So I am Bajat from Lebanon, living in Qatar, living and working in Qatar. I am clinical educator. So for me, fun, it's really something that you do, but I don't know. So for me, it's basketball, but also watching and playing basketball. For me, it's fun, but I just remember how much you get frustrated doing this or watching basketball, or your team is losing. Oh my God. So it's not fun at all. But yes, it's create fun even after losing or winning. This is fun. This is a place that I like.
Thank you, Baja. John.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Forts. I'm the program director for High Point Community-Based Recovery Services Program over here on the South Shore of Massachusetts. And nice to see everybody. How you doing, Brian? Some things to do to fun, right, Phil? One thing is I enjoy cooking with my daughter. We have this thing where, I'm in the kitchen, my wife might be working second shift, and we just kind of team up, me and my daughter. She cuts the chicken in tiny pieces, and she just, does what she does. And, and that's like some of that fun stuff, right? Another is I love going to my son's sports games. I got a 12-year-old that's very busy, with the basketball and baseball and so forth. And those are the fun times, watching the kids grow, spending quality time with the kids. I do want to say the vacation is also a fun time, but getting to the vacation and coming back, and I heard Jeff mention he's down from Carolina, and last year we went to Myrtle Beach, and had a blast, right? But getting there and getting back was definitely challenging, so we had to go through that to enjoy that time. But that's just some things we do for fun in the Forts household. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you, John. Hi, Penny.
Hi. Fun for me is sailing. Even at this age, when I was younger, I used to do a lot of long distance racing.
Wow.
And I still love it. I'm from the west side of West Michigan, and I've done races like the Chicago Mackinac race and long distance. I've done races from Rhode Island to Bermuda, but that was a long time ago. I'm now much older, so I do smaller races now. I did a small one in November down off of Dolphin Island, Alabama, which is one of the outer barriers in Alabama on the Gulf Coast. So those were day races, and I had a really good time and took lots of firsts. So I'm competitive even at my age and like to do that.
Thank you, Penny. Wow. Stephanie, good to see you.
Great, thanks. Phil, thank you for the distinction between enjoyment and fun. I feel like they live in the same house, but they're definitely different rooms, right? So enjoyment, like I find this very enjoyable, connecting, sharing, being with other people in this just and maybe that's the 24 years of being in a room, connecting and sharing. My pathway to recovery is AA, and I enjoy 12-step meetings. I wouldn't say that they're fun, but I enjoy them. I enjoy reading. I enjoy stuff that actually soothes my nervous system. That I enjoy things that it feels as though they sort of quiet me down, they settle me down, and that feels soothing, that feels enjoyable. But fun, which is a different energy, similar. So for me, fun, typically there's like laugh out loud moments with fun. And I just had an experience where I was over at a friend's house for dinner, and she was celebrating her birthday, and she said, I want to play this game. And it's called Heads Up. And it's this hysterical game that is an app, and you can get it, and it's on the iPhone, and it's a type of charades. And we were laughing. No, seriously, it's like a game, and you have to play, and you have to guess, and the person doesn't know what the word says and stuff. And I played it once with my kids, and we weren't just laughing, we were weeping. We were weeping with laughter. So that feels like fun. Fun is also being on the beach with my family and going in the ocean when it's freezing cold and saying, no, I don't want to go, but getting in. So there, for me, fun also has like joy, and it has excitement, certainly has laughter. And I'll just wrap up by saying what I do for fun is I love to act. And when I can get up with the script and work with other actors and have no idea what we're doing, that's sort of exciting and fun. Thanks.
Thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate what you talked about, the different energy, and that resonates with me. So thank you for that. Coach B, you're Coach B? Coach B? I don't know you as Coach B.
I know, Phil. Yep, that is me, Coach B, the CEO, co-creator of Extraordinary Outcomes. So, So enjoyment and fun. So some things I do bring me enjoyment and fun, like dancing.
Huh.
Coloring brings me enjoyment. Jumping rope is fun to me, whereas for someone else that might be challenging. But for me, when I'm jumping rope, it's fun because I'm learning to do new tricks and I'm watching my body move in different ways that I did not think of. So I find it enjoyable and I find it fun because of the level of flexibility.
Well said. Thank you. Appreciate that.
No
Bianca.
problem, Phil.
Hi everyone, my name's Bianca and I'm from the UK. I'm currently in Cyprus having the fourth power cut of the day, which is not fun. Yeah, I really liked being, brought to think about the difference between enjoyment and fun, because there is a difference, but I never really thought about it. So I really enjoy eating chocolate, but what it does to my heartburn and everything else is not fun, right? And I love sort of having dinner parties or big barbecues and having loads of people around, but I hate the prep. All of the prep that goes into it is not fun. But when everyone's here and we're all together and we're all eating and I love feeding people, that's really fun. And the enjoyment that I'm getting out of learning, being in places like this, going through this RCA journey, all of that, training element has been so enjoyable and fun. But I think the biggest thing for me at the moment is, actually developing my connection with women finally, and that intimate space that I'm sharing and developing and growing and nurturing is bringing me so much enjoyment and fun. So for me, that's the synergy of all of that. The most powerful synergy for me in terms of enjoyment and fun at the moment is probably that, and escaping the winter to Cyprus. That's definitely fun.
Thank you. Brian.
Good afternoon, everybody. So currently I'm sitting in the administration offices of the multi-purpose room at CCAR. I'm from Brockton, Massachusetts. Good to see you, John. So I think I told you this the other week or so, Phil, that so I thought I was, going and being the good boyfriend and going to a musical, just to be a part of because the girlfriend wanted to go see it. And, and I was really not too enthused about going. And I ended up attending that event, and I think I had a better time than she did. I mean, the musical was amazing. I mean, it was right up my alley. I'm a visual person. There was a lot of action. There was a lot of lights, a lot of colors, a lot of laughter. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as much as, so I've been on the search for like going to see other shows. I went to another event last week, no, 2 weekends ago, and it was really a lot of fun for me. I laughed, we ate food, I laughed, I went to a full range of emotions. I really was a couple great events, and so now I'm looking, as with my kind of personality, right? So now I'm seeking out others. I just hope I don't go broke attending all these places, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw on ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, not that I'm a fan of him, but he was talking about going to a Taylor Swift concert with his daughter, and he didn't sit down for 3.5 hours. He was blown away by how much he enjoyed it. It was like he couldn't believe it. It was funny.
Yeah.
Martin, how are you?
How are you, Phil? Yeah, I'm Martin. I'm from Gloucestershire in the UK. From enjoyment, I'm disabled, Phil, so I go swimming to do some exercise, and that floating in the water is the only time I can walk without crutches. But I also have fun with my scooter, getting there and getting the dog out and things like that. Because I've got 2 speeds, 4 mile an hour, 8 mile an hour. One's for the pavement, one's for the road. And you'll find me listening to 80s hip hop music with my Bluetooth speaker, doing 8 mile an hour, no matter what, on my way there. And I just really laugh at that. And I'm singing away to myself, white lines don't do it, and all that. And everyone's looking at me as if I'm mad. but I don't care.
That's wonderful, Martin. You made me laugh thinking about it. It's cool. Hey, WBRCC, what's happening in Waterbury?
Well, I feel my name is Leo on personal recovery, CCAR volunteer and CCAR recovery coach. I'm grateful to be here and finally meet you. For me, having fun, what I do for fun, I like to watch a good movie sometimes, most of the time. And I also enjoy going out to eat. I also like to watch sports. I'm a New York Knicks fan, so maybe I'll be having a lot of fun watching the Knicks win. So
Yeah.
that's pretty much. And I enjoy and I have a lot of fun coming here to see cars. So I enjoy being around here with my brothers and sisters. So it's a blessing.
Thank you. Robert, do you want to go too?
Robert says, Al, Bill.
Well, I can't see that far. You're like a shadow back there. You're a shadow figure.
Hey, Phil, long time no see.
Yeah.
My inspiration, what's going on? This is Al, everyone. I'm a C-Car recovery coach in the Waterbury C-Car branch. And proud of C-Car and everything. For me, fun is, you know, spending more time with the family, dancing and all that now. I do more karaoke than before. I think I'm Luther Vandross, you know, never too much. And just enjoying life now, man, you know, and thanks to you and C-Car and for your favorite words that you always say, I believe in you.
Yeah, I do. You know I do, Al. Good to see you. Thanks for chiming in.
Thank you.
Edgardo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Phil, for having this class today. My name is Edgardo. I'm grateful to be in recovery. And fun thing for me is hanging out with my grandson. It brings me joy. And we have fun at the same time. So differentiating what those look like, I have to do some more digging. But I definitely enjoy having a good time with him. And then him calling me up again and saying, hey, can you get me next week? That's the topping on the cake. He wants to be around an old guy like me. So it's no video games, just going out and throwing the ball around a little bit. Brings me
Nice.
joy to see that these days.
Thank you, Edgardo. Suzanne.
Hi, my name is Suzanne DeVore Blair. I'm in Frederick, Maryland, and it's nice to finally meet you, Phil. I've heard your name over and over and over again, so I'm glad I was able to catch this. What I do for fun is so I became very close with a family at my church, and the wife is actually in a memory care facility. So 2 times a week I go and find fun and joy in that, in addition to being able to allow the family to have a day or 2 off and fulfilling that. So that brings me a lot of happiness and fun.
Thank you. Ruth, good to see you.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Phil. Happy New Year, everybody. I keep saying it all the way through January. Phil, I love this discussion and I love hearing from folks because you're really opening up my mind. Let me promise you this. I enjoy my life. I thoroughly enjoy my life. I'm happy to be living the life that I'm living. And I don't know a damn thing about fun. I don't, truly, honestly, I don't. And the distinction that you're making here is very interesting to me. And I'm going to have to think a little bit more about it. And while I'm thinking a little bit more about it, let me give you a fun fact. You tell me that the Valentines come from a place that I'm going to suggest is spelled E-C-C-L-E-S.
It is.
Okay. Well, where I come from across the pond, I'm a Dubliner, as you can hear. I went to a school called Scoil Catriona, a high school, where we studied everything through the medium of the Irish language. So I studied, I don't know, geometry, if you like, through Irish. So I've got all sorts of quaint sayings about stuff that the Greeks invented. But Scoil Catriona at the time was located in Eccles Street. And Eccles is how we pronounce Eccles, where I come from. And Eccles Street is, of course, where Leopold Bloom, the hero of James Joyce's Ulysses, has his home.
Wow.
So there's a couple of fun facts for you to be going on with. Phil, you have a connection to James Joyce.
Wow.
On that note, I'll go off and think some more about what the hell fun means.
Yeah.
It's great to see you.
I don't know if those facts were fun, but I enjoyed them. Thank you, Ruth. Barry.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Barry Richardson, C-Car recovery coach. I was thinking about what you were saying about fun, and I you know what, I associate fun with playing. Anytime I can play, I'm having fun. Like even if I play cards, if I play cornhole, if I go out and still try to play basketball, playing is fun. So anytime I can play, I usually have fun. I usually laugh. I usually get excited, and if I win, it's even more fun. So that's all I got.
Well, Barry, once again, you just kind of like got me thinking. That was a great analogy, like thought. I associate fun with playing something. Huh. Cool. Victor.
Hey, everybody. My name is Victor Candela. I'm out here in California. Wow. And some of the things that are fun for me is just kind of hanging out with my family and friends. My schedule is pretty tied up. So anytime I can get away, that's usually where you're going to find me, is just kind of hanging out with family or friends, or just, and then the stuff that I enjoy, I put down that I like watching like funny movies or like series, because I'll try to laugh as much as I can. I try to get that as much as possible. And I like going to like events and meeting new people and like kind of networking, and just my connection to people is kind of big. So I kind of enjoy that for sure.
Thank you, Victor.
Thanks.
Peacemaker.
My name is Michael Serrano, and I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I'm in Connecticut. And it's like the UK right now for like 6 days. What I do for fun. Maybe y'all don't find this to be fun, but I like to write. And it's just like I've been having writer's block, so I haven't been having fun. So I've been working on that, because I want to continue. I enjoy it, and I do have fun because I look back at it and laugh. When I associate anything that has to do with laughter, I think that it is fun. So, and I stick around with people like Phil that make me laugh, right? and make it, and another word that comes up is interesting, right? If something's interesting to me,
no,
then then I'll have fun. But if it's not interesting, then
well, I get sometimes people dismiss you as going, well, that's interesting. Like, all right. I don't know. Veterans, you're up. Veterans, Saint New Veterans. What are you?
It's Veterans First of Northeast Wisconsin. So my name is Gail.
There you go.
Yep. And I'm for fun. Lately we're starting a tiny homes village for veterans in recovery. So we're going to have 21 homes in a community center where all our services are. So I'm trying to be a recovery coach trainer, so I can train our residents to be in a recovery coach as well.
Very cool. That's a wonderful alignment when your work can be fun as well. Then you identify it as fun. Yeah.
It gives me purpose. Yes, that's fun for me.
That's yeah.
And we're raising a ton of money, so that's fun too.
It's always more fun, like when you're winning, like playing, like who said something about playing associated, Barry, like associating fun with playing. And when I'm playing something, it's way more fun when I'm winning. Golf Clash comes to mind. When I'm in the flow, hitting it perfect every time, that needle bang, 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 putting up win streaks, fun. When you're playing like crap, not so much. Anyway, thank you for all the, yeah, thank you, Gail. Anybody else going once? All right, let's go on to the next question. And this is coaching for coaches. And as you know, we're wrestling with this distinction between enjoyment, joy, fun, contentment. What does fun have to do with recovery coaching?
Hey, Phil. Darrell
Hey,
Barnes Bay.
who is it? Who is this?
This is Darrell Barnes Bay. I work at Sobriety House.
There you are. I see you.
Yeah. It's interesting that you say that because I was about 10 minutes late and I was wanting to comment on the enjoyment versus fun. It's fun being a recovery coach to me. It's exciting. It's exciting to explore new adventures with other people. It's like an adventure. Recovery is an adventure because we're trying to discover a new way of living, new things. So it's fun. I hate to miss a day at work because I'm going to miss out on all the fun that I could enjoy working with my clients. You know, and I enjoy watching them go through the transition.
I love what you just said about the adventure, like being a coach is being an adventure and associating fun with adventure. I'm sorry, did you have something else? No, you good?
Nope, I was done.
All right, cool. Martin.
Yes, but wouldn't it be boring? You know, you wouldn't enjoy doing it, so you wouldn't sort of like put your heart and soul into it. It's got to be something that you enjoy doing. You know, and obviously, you know, you go to work with most of everyone on the screen probably goes to work with a smile on their face in the morning still. You know, it's imagine turning up for doing a session with someone and it's like over in the UK, oh my God, it's raining, I've slept in a puddle, you know, I'm soaked through because I forgot my umbrella, you know, and what kind of a session is that poor person going to put up with when you're like that? They ain't going to have no fun, and you know, and you certainly aren't as well.
All right, thank you, Coach B.
The three things that came to top of mind was recovery capital, self-care, and balance.
And okay, so expand on that thought about how fun ties in with those.
Right. So when I think about recovery capital, I'm thinking about that piece of socialization, being connected with other people. People are having changes in their life. They might be around new groups of people. So that's the socialization. When we talk about stages of recovery, like which stage is the fun part in the stages of recovery? And then when I think about self-care, like many of us were speaking about the things that bring us enjoyment and fun, it does something for the spirit. It's uplifting for the most part. Until we lose the game, Phil, that is. Right? But for the most part, what it does when we're having fun or some level of enjoyment, it releases endorphins and dopamine and all of those good things in our body. And if the person is doing it, and this is not strictly abstinent based, but if they're doing that more than the substance, then it creates balance in terms of the biology and also for the neuroplasticity.
Wonderful. Thank you. Sharon.
Okay, Coach B, you're on fire. I loved all of that. Thank you for that. You know, I think that a lot of us, when we were contemplating initiating our recovery, thought, well, there's the death of fun. You know,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die, and there's gonna be nothing or the death of fun. You know, and so working with our participants and connecting them to fun things, being a cheerleader and a motivator. So it's human capital, social capital, and community capital, just like Coach B was saying. You know, why we support them as we go to these different things and they kind of wake up and start thinking, hey, I'm having fun, you know. So it's huge because if this is recovery, if a life without fun, I don't want it, you know. So it's huge part. It's funny because I was a lot like the lady who said that she knows all about enjoyment, but not much about fun. That kind of tripped me up. You know, what's fun, but now speaking about this, I feel all excited. I'm having fun right now. So thanks for the question, Phil.
You're welcome. Khalees.
So I put like a couple things. I put I think like the mystery, like the unknown, curiosity. I put exploring possibilities. Whenever I'm not attached to the outcome and I have no expectations, I'm always surprised by their responses. I'm always surprised, and then I'm curious. And I think that's the part of it, is like exploring and not being attached. And then I'm like in shock kind of by sometimes the responses where I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. And then
so
I'm gonna
how does that tie into fun?
Because it makes me feel good to be
So
like
you
part of
find that
conversation.
fun
Well,
as a coach. Okay, I'm just
in
clarifying.
my coaching relationships, I also put
clarifying. Got you.
But hold on. I also put, I can't think of a coaching session where I haven't laughed. And like, to me, like I honestly cannot sit here and think about a coaching session where I haven't had a laugh. And then on top of that, I do kind of think it's a little fun to push back sometimes on the recovery's responses, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah.
I kind of think it's fun to push back and be like, so yeah, that's me.
Thank you. Those are great. Barry.
Yeah, for me, I just don't think that when it comes to recovery coaching, how would it be attractive for someone to want to me to coach them if I don't look like I'm having fun and enjoying life? If I'm miserable and I'm looking, I'm not. I mean, you coming to me and you're miserable and you're telling me what to do or what I need. You know, you're coaching me. I don't want what you got. I'm already miserable. You know what I mean? So I think, you know, that in order for, you know, to be effective and be attractive as a recovery coach, you need to at least be having fun or enjoying what you do.
Gotcha. Thank you. Bianca.
Yeah, my thoughts were a bit similar to Barry, is it? You know, if I thought it was the end of fun, you know, when I was sitting in my last sort of treatment center and learning about the things I had to change and stop and give up, you know, it was like, oh my God, like there is just no hope of a smile in my heart ever again. And the people that supported me along the way, that I built the best rapport with, that I feel had the best outcomes for me, were people that helped me to laugh, that laughed with me, and brought me joy in sessions, which helped me to engage. And you know, I subscribe to that myself because I see the benefit of that for myself and for the people that I work with, and from my own personal experience. You know, like Barry was saying, who wants to listen to someone that's just doling out misery all day long? You know, if I'm in a session with someone that's miserable, I don't even feel like there's openness for me to bring myself in. Whereas someone who's, you know, warm and sunny and fun, and it just feels much more enticing, much more engaging for me. So yeah, fun's all about the rapport as well for me.
Thank you. Edgardo.
For me in coaching, bringing fun to it, just having fun in recovery, period. For a long period of time when I was in early recovery, everything was just a chore when it had to come into the first stages of change. Now it's like someone mentioned, it's a journey. and I enjoy watching people grow. But some of the things I would have never fathomed happened to me in my recovery process are happening live with other people. And not only do I find resources for them, but what I find is that I'm finding all these recovery capital for myself. So when this disease rears up in the future, 5 years from now, I already worked on it with someone else and I figured out how they did it, and I get to keep that information for myself also and continue giving it away. So the process is just reciprocal. It's just an amazing thing, and the journey is fun in itself.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, Ruth. What does fun have to do with recovery coaching?
Well, first of all, first principles, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
We are not a glum lot.
All right.
Apparently, I showed up one afternoon to a meeting at the DuPont Circle Club when I lived in DC. And I have no idea what was going on or the context of this. It was a pal of mine remembered this. Apparently, I said at one point, I said, I don't know about you folks, but I'm here for the happy, joyous, and free.
Mm-hmm.
And when I heard that expression, that this is about attraction, not promotion, that's where I started being able to sign on the dotted line. Absolutely. And what I find attractive is what I try to mirror. I find an open face attractive. I find a welcoming expression attractive. I find smiles on people's faces attractive. I find, sort of relaxed, relaxed in body, relaxed in attitude. I find that attractive. I find it attractive in the sense of invitational.
Mm-hmm.
And as a professional, these are the qualities that I try to emulate or try to mirror. And that's driven by all the wonderful qualities that people are talking about here. And my curiosity about other people, my curiosity is insatiable, actually. And so on. But, the bottom line never changes. We change all day, every day, but the bottom line doesn't change. We are not a glum lot. It's
correct.
Attraction, not promotion.
Love it. Thank you. Penny.
I would have to agree with Ruth. Recovery has been so much fun for me. And I'm grateful. And because I'm grateful, I have a lot of joy. And I try to share that joy with the people I work with. And I've had several of them come back and say, it was so serious, but you make it real.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I'm kind of a goof, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is serious business, but when you start seeing people, or for me anyway, when I start seeing people, the little light bulbs going off, you can't help but teach them to smile. And one of the best things for me in my recovery was learning to laugh at myself.
Yes.
Not be so, oh, Penny, your life is so awful. And if I can share that with other people, I think it helps their recovery too. It's really all I have.
Thank you, Penny. Stephanie?
Sure. So one of the things I was thinking about, and as a coach, we talk about and spend and give quite a bit of airtime to what we're recovering from. But as a coach, I'd like to give a lot of airtime to what are we recovering to? So when I think about what are we recovering to, or when the recovery begins to think about that, and we're working on their recovery wellness plan, and we're setting goals, and we're thinking about fun or thinking about fun, but they start thinking about their life and they are doing different things. What are we recovering to? It has a totally different shade of optimism and fun, and has a totally different vibe. And if they've come out of treatment or they've relapsed multiple times, and even my own experience of really struggling and suffering and not telling anybody, like I said, that gets a lot of airtime and that feels pretty dense. And yes, I have heard in the rooms, we are not a glum lot, and it's like gallows humor, and that's great. And thank God, because that's like balm for the soul. But the joy and the fun, and it could be different for different people. I think obviously it is different for different people. But as I said, I think when we're looking at what we're recovering to, fun drops in, joy drops in, and it's and you know, having fun with clients. I think we all kind of, you know, we're a little self-obsessed and a little self-serious. And I think lightening it up a little bit sometimes is just a good thing to do.
Thank you so much. Jeff?
Yeah, Phil, I was a miserable SOB for most of my adult life. And most people around me was miserable as well. So to wake up every day and be in recovery and grow on this journey I'm on, and to be able to get to share that with someone, there's not words I can say about it. It's fun, it's emotional, it's meeting people where they're at in their journey. And even the times that it's emotional or it's struggles or there's trauma, it might not be fun in that moment, but it's a beautiful process for me. And to bring laughter to that individual through those processes and to connect with them, I won't rather be doing anything in my life.
Thank you. Baja?
So for the association, it came to my mind two things. So recovery. So recovery, it's a long journey. Yes, it's a long journey where the person is discovering what is his recovery. So it's not something that we let him that he know. We will let him learn about his recovery. So there is a part of it of learning, and this reminds me about kids. So the new strategies for kids to learn or for the person to learn is fun. So by playing, by having fun, you will learn and you will discover more. So including this or putting this in the learning process to discover your recovery, it's the thing that will add on the recovery journey a lot of motivation, and it will help the person to be motivated, and for the recovery coach to be motivated to continue supporting any recovery. So it help both of both sides. And for me, in all my learning activity or any activity that I am doing for education, learning circle, facilitating anything, so fun is one of the rules. So we should have fun to learn more. And the thing, when you are having fun, you will not be counting the hour. So the person will not be counting the hour of the journey. So he will be having fun and continue his journey in the recovery.
Yeah, thank you, Baja. It occurs to me that when you're speaking, it's like children know how to have fun, right? It's just almost given the right atmosphere, they just know how to have fun. A lot of you talked about being with grandchildren or your children, they know how to have fun. According to Cyndi Lauper, girls just want to have fun, but I have no idea about men having fun. I don't know what if that's, never mind. Just that's a whole rabbit trail. But anyway, the next question is, how do you encourage or entice the people you work with, recoverees, to have fun? What are some of your techniques you have learned over the years? Stephanie, you had your hand raised?
Yeah, the technique, it's just a go-to question, right? And it's in the eighth dimension or eighth dimension of well-being, but it's in the other category on the recovery wellness plan. It just says other. Well, that feels a little boring to me. So I put what brings you joy, what rings your chimes. I've renamed that category. I hope that's okay with you.
It's okay with me.
So I ask the question, what rings your chimes? What brings you joy? And if they go with nothing, if the answer is nothing, I've ruined everything, I've destroyed everything, but usually we're a little farther along than that, then the next place I'll go is, tell me about something that brought you joy when you were a little person. And I get them, I ask them to connect up with their childhood, because typically in there lies something that they spark to. And that's how I start.
Wonderful. That brings a question that I've used often, even in the podcast, is what did you like to do as a kid?
Yeah.
Something as simple as that, right? What did you like to do as a kid? Because I think we grow and we mature, but we don't lose that essence. So sometimes it's reconnecting to that. So anything else? Talk to me. How do you entice having fun or with your recoveries? What questions do you ask? Martin.
I feel just remind them a little bit where they've come from.
Yeah.
The misery and the pain and the suffering. And was that really fun? Did you really enjoy waking up in the morning, in the shop doorway, covered in rubbish, just kind of like sometimes remind them of that a little bit, and that there's a better way. And personal experiences as well a little bit. I've sat on buses before now and just looked at someone walking down the street and just burst out laughing in early recovery because they had weird hair or something like that. It's just that stuff, as the blinkers come off, you can find joy and humor in anything, can't you?
You can, if you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're looking for misery, you'll find that too. Somebody else. Yeah, Coach.
What just came to mind is that part in the stages of recovery where they talk about the emotional detox.
Yeah.
That just, I don't know, for some reason that just popped up in my mind, like, just having a discussion on what that looks like and what does the other side look like. Yeah.
Michael.
I don't know why I keep thinking about a DJ, right? And like playing the right music. Like if you go into somewhere and the DJ's not playing the right music, you just be like, man, I'm out of here. This music sucks. It's like it's like keeping the person entertained. Like, let me play the right music that this person likes, right? And if the person tells me, man, your music sucks, and I'm like, it's on me to be like, well, let me make this fun, or to be like, well, you suck. And then just send them on their way, right? So I think keeping them entertained, right, as coaches, that connection piece is real, real strong, because I was saying this earlier in a group that you can say you're a coach, but then they'd be like, how many people have you coached? And you'd be like, not yet. I haven't even coached not one person yet. But this month it's gonna happen. And it's like, when you jump in and start putting it into practice. But I think keeping it, again, that whole word of entertained, right? And how do you do that? Maybe it's got to be with fun. I know sometimes things are serious, right? But keeping it going, keep that music flowing.
Yeah, love that analogy. Thank you, Michael. Sharon.
When working in an inpatient circumstance, it's easy. You wanna, yes, anything to break up the monotony of living in an inpatient facility, they're down for it. If we're gonna leave campus, but then also whether it's inpatient or outpatient, having fun activities as part of your group, so that they could, because, you know, when we start, it's like, this is stupid. I can't believe I'm doing this. They might have said that to themselves. But then they engage of it and they're like, oh my God, you know what? That was fun. So a lot of times it's experiential. You know, if I say, look, we're going to have a chili cook-off on the 24th. There's going to be a lot of people in recovery there. Can I come pick you up? Or here's a bus card or whatever. Do you want to come? You know, then I can get more people to participate in those things with the support, because, you know, people feel squirrely going into new situations. And so, you know, but there's a lot of resistance from an outpatient level or community-based recovery level.
Thank you, Sharon.
Great question.
Yeah, Ruth.
Thanks, Phil. I'm kind of prodded in this a bit by what Michael was saying. You know, I have a fairly whimsical, wacky sense of humor, as anybody who knows me knows. And I tend to introduce different facets of my sense of humor into conversations, and see if folks run with them or not. You know, sort of a blank face response, you know, sort of is usually a clue to me to abandon that strategy immediately. But I do think that it's part of being in the present, in the conversation with the recoveree, and picking up clues, not only about activities, but, you know, but where this person is at in terms of exactly Stephanie's marvelous phrase, you know, what rings their chimes. I'm not necessarily going to get an answer to what rings your chimes, but if I'm paying attention, I might hear some bells, and you know, sort of, and I can respond to that, and I can respond to how what I'm putting out there is being received or not.
Thank you, Ruth. Edgardo.
Very interesting that I'm getting all these takes on these things. When it comes down to, I think the biggest part for me is the connection first. And once the connection is built and can withhold like trust, introducing new things, new pathways, and in a fun way, you know, because there's something, I found a game, it's called Heads Up. It's on the phone, and when you flip it up, it has a word.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So all I did was take that same game that anybody could get for free, and I made it a way to deliver communication. When someone is in crisis mode and mom is yelling, parole is yelling, girlfriend, kids, everybody's yelling something at you, you got to find that one person you can trust, whether it's a coach or a priest or a doctor, and trust them so you can get the ding, you know, get the point for your team. And just having different and creative ways to deliver recovery and putting a face on it for everyone to be attracted to it, so they can understand, or all of us can understand, that it's not just you know, a professor standing in front of you just blah blah blah. And get involved, get creative, get together. Let's have fun with it, because all this information is open for everyone to have fun with, and we can deliver it in different ways.
Thank you,
But I like
Edgardo.
that DJ analogy too, Michael. That was real good. Play the right music and they will dance.
Thank you. Khalees.
I keep thinking about my son. Like, I've been trying to get my son to try some different things lately, you know, just to do more. And I think there's that element of, when people don't know what they don't know. So, like, how is the guy going to know that he loves to carve soap if he's never seen soap carving before? So, like, there's that one thing of like introducing or sharing ideas and other stuff you find. But I also think there's that permission to be bad at something, to try it and have fun and like suck at it and like, you know, mess up and don't do it right, just that permission to dream or believe. And I feel like sometimes we lose that in our active addiction, that permission to, you know, not be perfect all the time. I did this awful drawing at this workshop this weekend where they made me draw and I couldn't look at the paper and it was hideous. But then I was like, that ain't too bad. You know, like I'm kind of getting used to it, you know, but it was awful and uncomfortable. So like just to the permission to sucks to suck sometimes, but you know what? You can laugh at it later. So that's it.
Thank you. Daryl.
Hey, as I was listening to you guys, I was thinking about when I first started to be a recovery coach. When I think of the word coach, I think of football team, basketball team. I think of people having fun. And my mentor, he told me, he said, how are we going to be coaches if we don't have a playbook? So we put together a playbook. And the topics in the playbook are fun topics, you know, barriers and solutions, making change happen, understanding family history. And I have practical conversations with them and ask questions to get them involved. And we have fun with it. But the playbook, when I mentioned the term playbook, it automatically diffuses everybody and it lowers their guard, as opposed to coming in and talking about stages of change and how certain stuff affects you physically. We just have practical, real life conversations and we have fun. That's it.
All right, thank you. Aaron.
Yeah, Khalees actually beat me to it because I was on this art workshop as well. It took nothing more than a piece of paper and a pencil, and it was one of the most fun things that I've done in a while. So one of the exercises, you have to draw your hand, a contour drawing. You can't take your pen off the paper, but you also can't look at the paper either. And then you have to, I think there's 3 exercises. One's your hand, one is an inanimate object, and the other one is your face. And I couldn't even draw my face because I was laughing so much. It's partly at Khalees as well, because we had the same feelings about like, this is awful because I'm not very good at this. But that's actually not the metric of if I'm good at it or not. It's actually, am I enjoying it? So yeah, it's just that weird thing that people also talk as well about. Obviously, if you take kids and you put them out into, like, just say go out into the wilderness, 9 times out of 10 they will just create a game, because that is something that kids naturally do. However, we're sort of breaching towards society where all the rules are made for them. So people here must have seen that they go to a restaurant, and because the parents want some me time, they will just put the kid with an iPad and fucking headphones and stuff like that. And you're then going, well, that kid's environment is curated for them. So actually, they're not having that much fun. They're not having this opportunity and freedom to make mistakes and to be bad at things, because all the rules are made for them. So it's just having almost like a blank slate and having literally a pen and a pencil is actually all you need at the end of the day. It's how you make that work, which really can determine how fun things can be.
Wow. Hey, Michelle, you usually chime in somewhere. Are you going to chime in for us?
Are you missing me?
I am.
I was enjoying just listening because I'm always yapping. So, but yeah, no, one thing came to mind is I couldn't have fun until I was like somewhat comfortable with myself. So when I'm encouraging other people, it's the thing that came to mind was to try and help people get out of their head a little bit, right? Because fun is thoughtless. Like when I'm having fun, I'm not thinking about how I look, how people are perceiving me. So if you can help other people get to that place, and just, I really like what Khalees said too, is just to be, if I'm going to take a dance class, like I'm not going to be a star dancer, but I'm going to have fun because I'm okay with me just making mistakes and looking stupid, right? So
thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
Brian, I'm going to put you on the spot too, that you run like, what are some of the activities that are done in recovery community centers that promote fun?
Quite a bit lately. I mean, we have a lot of creative arts groups that we have going on. I think you may have heard Al talk about playing cornhole. We have some of the centers are going out into the community and attending different types of events or shows.
What's
You know,
the
or it's
what's
just
that game that you got the game console too, right?
oh yeah, so we have what do you call it?
Switch or something? Yeah.
Nintendo Switch. So they've been so our young adult and family program, so they've been utilizing that entertainment device. I mean, it was something that one of our managers brought in their own personal one, and it kind of like took off, and it started building community around them. Planning to have some fun with playing Mario Kart or whatever it is that they're playing. There's so many different games. There's athletic games that they play on there, the bowling, tennis, whatever, golf. So yeah, there's a lot of different types of right now we've been in a kind of like an artsy mode, right? So it's been a lot of like, because we've been inside a lot, so it's been a lot of creative writing. Yeah, a lot of and through the holidays making different things for Christmas and things like that, and going into the new year. But yeah, it's been they've been having a lot of fun, and the calendar's been full. I mean, there's usually something every day that's creative that's on the calendar.
Huh. That got me thinking like creativity. I often associate creativity with, for me, as I've been thinking about how I was going to talk about this, was as enjoyment, right? I enjoy it. Would I say it's fun? I don't know yet. It's a different energy. Fun seems to be ramped up a little more, and I'm looking for things that are fun for me. And I think about my Appalachian Trail through hike and the sense of adventure, and I often associate fun with being adventuresome and outdoors, and that's for me. And I think I was yeah, go ahead.
So this is how I think about it, Phil, when we talk about enjoyment and fun, right? I think about fun is in the moment, right? It's in the moment. The enjoyment for me comes afterwards, when I like reflect. It's like, oh, I really enjoyed that. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of think about it in my head,
Right. So I'm often struck by the words of Art Woodard when we were talking about working with recoverees or working with anybody. And Michael, I was struck like when you said somebody hasn't coached anyone. But again, I'm going to emphasize the point that as recovery coaches, being a coach is a way to be in the world. It's not just like I'm going to be a coach when we have our hour session scheduled. No, like I have contractors at our little house in Warwick, and I find myself asking them questions all the time. And they, these rough Rhode Islanders, contractor types, and I ask, what'd you like to do as a kid? Oh my gosh, it's like ice hockey on the pond and going off and going to Bruins again. I'm like, holy cow, you never know what questions you're going to ask, or, raking up quahogs right outside and I think, when I'm facing this chemo treatment, like this strenuous medical regimen, prognosis is good, not looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward. I'm looking to find things that would be fun. And I also just came to the realization that it's a little more difficult for me to have fun in the winter months than it used to be, because I don't like being outside in the cold, the ice, and the snow. I'm not a skier, but I will hike, and I don't mind being wrapped up. It's just not as fun as like going surf fishing or, looking for critters in the salt marshes, or doing that thing when it's warm out. I seem to have it's just simpler, I think. But Art Woodard used to say, when you're working with people, it's pay attention to what has heart and meaning for the individual. And when they have heart and meaning, often you will see a smile, indicative of fun, of enjoyment. You'll see light in their eyes, you know, like with their kids, they like light up and they get enthusiastic about a certain chore or sport or game or activity. And that's when they start to, when you pay attention to that, then you start to figure out, what question could I ask to encourage this in that individual, right? Any thoughts or examples you have about that? I'd love to hear some. Where you've seen that happen in yourself or happen when you've asked a question of somebody else. Martin.
I'm just thinking back to sort of like my first recovery years and years and years ago, Phil, when I was so grateful for the fact that, you know, I wasn't taken out of society, you know, and held at Her Majesty's pleasure, but I'd do absolutely anything, you know, for my recovery, you know, and I got involved in the fellowship, and if it's this needed doing, I'd do it. If that needed doing, I'd do it, you know, because I was that sort of like grateful for this new life, this new way to live, that I was willing to put my hand up for most things, and some of it was to my detriment in the finish, because I kind of like overdid it a little bit and I had to pull back on certain things. But it also gave me a good understanding of like the fellowship I'm in and how it all runs, you know, from a very, you know, early recovery perspective.
I love that. You just made me write a note about thinking about gratitude and fun and how they might intersect. What fascinating. Edgardo.
What a cool thing, because gratitude is where I was coming from with this one. Like in the center, having an open space where people could come in and just choose to join in an activity. You'll be surprised how many times someone just coming out of prison from 15 years that would sit down and do something like a craft or something, say, who would have thought that I'd be here? You see them all tattooed out and tough guy, but you're there making a little rose out of pipe things, and making little snowmen, like we just did snowmen out of socks. And it's amazing how that can be fun for some people, and they're like, would have never thought it, you know. And opposites attract, and when you have a safe environment where people are non-judgmental, it's easier to be able to produce those type of effects, like karaoke without drinking. There's so many people like, I can't believe I did karaoke for the first time in my life without a drink, you know. So just having those safe spaces is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Suzanne.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that last comment in that safe space. And you know, what we find at times minute is so big to other people, and I feel conversations organically grow, and they organically grow into more than what you wanted to get out of an activity in the beginning, where it just organically flows, and then the gratitude coming in and the respect from others is, to me, priceless. And I've seen it happen, and it wasn't necessarily what I wanted at the end game, but it turned into so much more than what I wanted, because that safe, non-judgmental space was there.
Thank you so much. Jeff.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off both of that, as well as creating a non-judgmental safe space. And I think about a time of connecting with someone, I think first by using the CCAR fundamentals, by active listening and asking good questions. And the individual, come find out, was a musician, and it was a double-edged sword for him, that he couldn't ever play his guitar again, because that's what he did when he used substances. It's the only time he played is when he used substances. He thought he could never did. Well, we do keep musical instruments inside our recovery center. And so I said, well, what about if you sit here and play with me? And so we got the guitar and we started playing, and he started singing, and I started singing, and before you know it, that was attractive to other participants in the center. And we had this whole recovery center just singing music. And I thought that was pretty cool. And he afterwards, I was like, we don't have to live in a bubble. You know what I mean? Like we can go to concerts, we can do things in recovery that we enjoy doing, that we love to do. Just because we did them, also want to use substances does not necessarily mean that part of our life is over. It means it's pretty much just beginning.
Love that. Thank you, Jeff. Khalees.
I keep thinking about, I don't know about anybody else, but whenever I think about my memories of like having fun, I'm kind of hurting myself or somebody else is getting hurt. Like we're just slipping or falling or something crazy. And I just keep thinking, I remember whenever I was a kid, my brother and I, we had this huge hill and we lived in this pasture and we were like, we're going to build a ramp into the pond. And my brother and I are going to ride our bikes down this huge hill off the ramp. We vision it like going into the pond like this. Funniest stuff I like ever remember, my brother goes down this hill, front wheel goes down, bike tips over, funniest thing. And then everybody was just like laughing so hard. And we were just silly kids. And then I was thinking about that video. Has anybody seen that video where it's like it takes one person to do a crazy dance and then all of a sudden everybody, it's like a ripple effect, right? Like if we can just be silly, like with ourselves and feel comfortable to do that, it takes one person and then people, and Jeff, you just talked about the music and then it attracted other people. And I just think it just takes one person to be brave, to be comfortable, to be silly, yeah. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just what I keep thinking about.
I had a recent experience where I live in our little house on the water in Rhode Island is I can just walk outside, and I discovered a way to walk along the shore all the way out to the point. And now I've grabbed a bucket and a grabber, right? And I pick up trash along the way, like little small plastic things and like bottle tops and you name it. I find everything. And I'll fill the bucket up 2, 3, 4 times and dump it out at the park. And Orca Kevin, our guy who runs our beach cleanup, he came out and visited last Friday, and I was walking along the beach. It's like 30 degrees, the wind is whipping, I'm bundled up, and I just look at him, and I must have been lit up because I said, I love this. I love doing this. It's the weirdest, strangest thing to be walking along the beach in the cold, picking up trash at the tide water mark, but I love it. And the last question I want you to reflect on, and it goes to what Ruth was saying, I thoroughly enjoy life, but I don't know what fun is. Are things fun when we say they are? And or is it a different energy? Or can we create that energy, but just by declaring something is fun? So I want you guys to talk about, help me. I need your perspective because I don't have the answer on that. I'm trying to figure this out for myself or two. Well, Robin, good to see you. Glad you're going to chime in.
Great. Sorry I'm a little late. I had this scheduled to start at 2:30. Something said, just get prepared. And in preparation, I got on and you guys was at it. But I'm glad I made this part. And Happy New Year's to you, Phil, and others who I've not seen this year. When I think about fun, I tell people all the time, I don't spend my money to have fun and not have it. When I make up my mind that, and I spent my money for sure, I'm going to have fun. You don't have to. I tell people who travel with me, you don't have to have fun. I'm not going to sit here and nurse whatever syndrome that you have because you don't want to be cordial or you don't want to deal with people. I'm a people person. I know this. I know that I love people as much as I breathe. And with that being said, I'm not going to be stuck in one spot. I love playing games. I love having fun. And then I rest. But when I go out, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to play cards. I'm going to dance. I'm going to laugh. I don't tell jokes real well, but I'll laugh at your corny jokes. Whatever. I'm just going to have fun with my time. And if I came out to have fun, that's what I'm going to do. And no one can stop me from that.
Thank you so much. Michelle.
Robin, I will not try and stop you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome. Yeah, Phil, I'm with you. I think that whole over analyzing it, right, is like maybe it doesn't need to be. You said it, you know, you were picking up the trash and you were feeling good and you're feeling joy. That's fun to me. People, when I talk to people, like it doesn't have to be a specific event, right? Like, and sometimes if it's too forced, it's like, you know, that doesn't work either. But one thing I say all the time when I talk to people like outside of the recovery bubble that we live in, and they ask me what I do, and I try and explain to them in, you know, short of paragraph as possible, but they always have that heavy look on their face and they'll be like, oh, that's really hard work. And I'm like, actually, it's really fun. And it is, because I think, and everybody, I think most people in here probably feel that way, because I heard it expressed through this, you know, this whole conversation that, you know, when we see a little light in somebody's eyes, when they get that little spark of hope, when we get to meet people for the first time. I love people. So talking to people is fun for me, meeting new people. And I am innately curious about people. So if I get to learn more about you, then to me, that is fun. It doesn't have to be an event, right?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Stephanie.
Yeah, I'm overthinking fun, right? I think so take thinking out of fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think fun is experiential. And so that means there are certain things that I've already experienced that I feel are fun. I feel it, as I said, in my nervous system. It makes me laugh. Those things, they light me up on the inside. It's something in my nervous system. It's like fireworks going off, or a sparkler. It's like a sparkler on the inside. That's how I know it's fun. But you know, what's fun for me isn't necessarily what's fun for somebody else. So I think part of the fun is trying new things, because I don't know what I don't know. You know, it's seriously fun for my husband to go skiing at the top, tippy top of the whatever. And for me, that's petrifying. Right. So, and that's what I love, is that fun has as many different shapes, colors, and sizes as people.
Right.
And what's really cool is I think friendship gets that if there are some common denominators, that we find some of the same things fun, that creates connection, that creates friendship, or those are like ingredients for friendship. If you enjoy doing a lot of the same things. But I'm also really good friends with people that I don't necessarily have a lot in common with from an experiential standpoint. But anyway, I don't think like I would be able to look at making an 8-course meal and tell myself that that's fun.
Right.
Not fun for me. That's super fun for somebody who's a chef and they're all about it. But that's not for me. Yeah, no. So I don't know. Those are just.
Love it. Thank you. I'd like to eat an 8-course meal. I wouldn't want to prepare it. Martin.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. To me, it's kind of like I can bump into a friend that I went to primary school with, and I can think of something that we've done that was fun. It's like my brain's wired, or our brains are wired to remember those fun times. And if I look back at certain things, even today, things that I've done today, even, or things that I've done yesterday, and it brings a smile to my face, and I have a little bit of a chuckle, and I get that little warm feeling inside me head, then I know it's fun, Phil.
Yeah. Thank
It's
you.
been fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Suzanne.
Yeah, I think a lot of things I find amazingly fun, but others will not. I think it's important, and I do this in a lot of aspects of my days. I do what I call a pulse check. It's like, where are we? Are you having fun? Are we not? Do we want to try something different? And being able to have that discipline to pivot, that we may need to do something else because everyone else isn't having fun, but I sure as heck am. I want to talk about recovery all the time, but not everybody wants to hear about recovery all the time. So I think it's just important in any environment is kind of doing those pulse checks, making sure we're all still on the same page, or is something getting boring, and acknowledging that everybody has a voice. It's not a dictatorship.
Thank you, Suzanne. Cindy, good to hear from you.
Hey, Phil. Happy New Year, everyone. It's good seeing you, Phil, again.
Mm-hmm.
For me, fun is neat. Stephanie said it was really important. It's something that hits inside of my emotions. It's a feeling that I get when I can enjoy something without wanting anything attached to it. It makes me laugh. It tickles my inside. It attaches my spirit. I can remember having a job that I used to go to, and I would always say, I love this job so much I could come here without pay because it was fun. I would tell my supervisor it was like coming to the playground and bringing my own ball, and everybody can come and play with my ball. And so fun for me is when I feel tickled on the inside at whatever I'm doing. And I get that a lot because I love fun. Waking up in the morning is fun. Just being able to say, I woke up, I'm about to be 70. And so waking up in the morning is fun to me. You know what I'm saying? To be able to know that I have another day ahead of me, and I don't think about fun. It just happens.
Yeah.
For me, I can say I'm going to create fun, but what I create doesn't always end up being fun. But when I allow things to happen naturally, I can feel the fun. So for me, fun is something that's an internal that I have to feel before I can say that it is fun. Because things that people do normally or whatever we do normally may not be fun. And I think someone said that what may be fun for you may not be fun for me. But for me, just having my spirit tickled, that's fun. Yeah.
Thank you, Cindy. Baja.
Yeah, so yes, fun is relative, so everyone can define what make him feel this fun or enjoyment. But I think there should be a common thing that we should take in consideration as safety. So when we are doing things that are making us fun or happy or doing things, we should take in consideration what is safe and what is keep the other safe also. For example, working a lot and having to be productive all the time is fun for some people, but also taking care about yourself and not taking care about yourself when you should take care about yourself, just only focusing on productivity, working and being workaholic. So you will wake up one day, oh, what I did. Yes, it was fun, but what I did in my life. So yes, it is relative, but we should take care about safety also about and what we are doing.
Yeah, well, I think just like fun, I think safety is a different level for different people too. And I also think that some people, the less safe they are, the more fun they have.
Yeah.
Like you think of Stephanie's husband on the tip of a mountain about to ski down like a ridiculous steep slope, not safe, but wildly fun, right? So so it's that might even be a cool topic for next time. Like I just wrote that down about safety and what we mean by that, because everybody wants to be safe and create safe places. And what does that mean? I don't know what that means either. So we're at the end of our time. Thank you guys so much. You have lifted my spirit in discussing fun and given me some wonderful ideas of things to pursue in the next days to come. And thank you so much. Thank you, Ruth, for the email and the award. I consider it an award, the honor you bestowed on me. I appreciate that. And I'll see you guys next month, God willing, and the creek don't rise. So what I want to tell you is live long and prosper, right? Spock, right? And go forth and multiply. I mean, make more recovery coaches. What did you think I meant,